Hello, it's another week and it's Weekend Review on Trust Television, where we take a look at some of the biggest events that occurred in the past 1 week. My name is Martia Umar. Thank you so much for joining. I will start with one of the biggest stories that made headlines that broke out in the course of the week. And it's about a prominent Nigerian politician. So, two Nigerians, Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Beatrice, have been denied bail by a United Kingdom's magistrate court, and the two were arrested by the Metropolitan Police in London for allegedly conspiring to arrange the travel of a child into the UK to harvest organs. And the charges follow an investigation by the Metropolitan Police's specialist crime team. And victim in the alleged crime is a 15-year-old boy brought to the UK by the couple from Lagos. A statement on the Metropolitan Police website on Thursday last week reads that Beatrice Ekweremadu, who is 55 years old, is a Nigerian charged with conspiracy and who has arranged or facilitated travel of another person with a view to exploitation. And that is for organ harvesting. Also, they said that Ike Ekweremadu, who is 60 years old, and a Nigerian, is being arraigned, and he has facilitated a travel of another person with a view of exploitation and charged with the same offense, that is organ harvesting. So the couple has been remanded until July 7th. Meanwhile, while it happened in the course of the week, a London-based medical practitioner, Dr. Gumi, told Trust TV that voluntary organ donation is considered legal in the United Kingdom. Take a look.
A technical term, or it's a surgical term of whereby you remove an organ from the donor and give it to a recipient. So it's like you're harvesting those organs and, putting it into someone else. So an organ donor is actually the person who would volunteer, give their organs either when they're alive or when they're dead to another person who would, need it. So I saw quite in the media a lot of, terms use organ harvesting. So, it's just something that even here in the UK, almost everybody is encouraged to register with the organ donation registry, so that, for instance, somebody has a road traffic accident, they die, then their organs are being used for other people. So one organs, maybe their eyes will be used, their heart, their liver, their their kidneys would be when they die. It's also the living donor. So for instance, you've got a loved one or a friend maybe that needs a kidney, you can give one of your kidneys to them, or a part of your liver, or maybe like some kind of bone marrow for people that have like sickle cell, so these are livings that can, volunteer to give that. So obviously this case, I think the problem in this case is if there is any suspicion that the person that is actually the donor has been forced or maybe manipulated or exploited in some kind of way, or there's some kind of monetary exchange for them to give their organs, that is seen as illegal.
And in the course of the week, security operatives called on local communities to put measures in place in order to identify those feeding bandits with information on their targets. Kaduna State Police Commissioner Yekini Ayokus gave the advice after Sunday's attack by terrorists on churches in Kajuru that led to the death of 3 persons. The report.
At least 3 persons have been confirmed killed and scores abducted during the attack. The latest attack is one of the many incidents faced by communities in Kajuru, which is a reflection of the sorry state of security in Kaduna. An eyewitness, Bashir Usman, who recounts the incident, says the terrorists attacked the churches after unleashing terror on nearby communities.
So when they came, they met some people in the church They decided to get into the church, pack some of them, gather them in a particular place, then move to another village again, which is the Robo 2. Then did likewise. They moved from Robo 5 to Robo 1. They were doing the same thing. So they came on bike, and there were a lot of them on bike that came to that particular place. And to those that tried to repel the attacks, most especially the men, they got killed.
Government and security officials have visited the area to assess the situation. They described the attack as a threat to security and emphasized the need to identify those who supplied the bandits with information.
People can no longer go to the farm and farm. If you're in the farm, they will come and take you away. If you're in the home, you're never safe. If you're in the farm, you're never safe. Even on the road, you're never safe.
At least 5 communities in Kajuru have been sacked. The situation is becoming a humanitarian crisis as farmers no longer have access to their farms.
It is our desire again that we will be able to identify elements who are collaborating with the bandit, who are playing one role or the other.
The communities are now looking up to government for protection as the weapons of the local vigilantes cannot match that of the terrorists.
The representatives of all the communities here too, I want to advise you that you work on the enemies within. The collaborators, the people that supply these bandits, these terrorists with information, with their supply chains. Some people buy recharge card for them.
Sunday's incident brings the number of those killed in the month of June alone to at least 35, while scores of farmers and worshippers have been taken hostages. The terrorists are now demanding 100 million naira from the communities for the release of the hostages.
And it's quite a sad situation that the victims of the Kaduna Abuja train attack are still in captivity. So during the week, the recent report that victims of train attack still in captivity are being threatened by snakes and other rodents has raised concern among families of the hostages. The relatives of the victims at a press briefing in Kaduna on Thursday say that their relatives were living under horrific conditions that need urgent attention. Let's take a look.
It's about 3 months since terrorists attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train and abducted over 60 people. Within this period, more than 10 of them have regained their freedom and reunited with their families, raising hopes that the remaining hostages will soon be released. This hope appears dim following the recent report that the victims' lives are being threatened by snake bites in the forest. Matilda Kabir, whose husband is still in captivity, says life has become miserable.
7 days, 87 days. Some of us, the women, they don't work. They don't work. One woman, she's not working. She has a sickle cell child. Day before yesterday, she called me. She said, Matilda, I might end it. I said, I have to be begging her, hold on. It is not funny. Please, Nigerians, come to our aid. Add voice to our own. If it has not touched you, you will not understand how we are feeling. Please. Please.
From the people that came back, they told us the situation over there. They told us that there are snakes, termites, like scorpions, and all sorts of rodents there, which are very harmful and scary.
The chairman of the victims' relatives, Dr. Fatai Jimo, says their relatives in captivity are living in deteriorating health conditions and called on those concerned to redouble their efforts to see to their rescue.
That our family members still in captivity are living under horrendous conditions. Many of them are sick with poor medical care, in addition to poor nutrition, environmental hazards, and more frighteningly, living in perpetual fear of threats to life. However, we commend the efforts of the Chief of Defense Staff, service chiefs, heads of security agencies, the Presidential Committee, institutions, organizations, and individuals who collectively worked tirelessly for the success of this first phase of negotiation.
The relatives also commended the government for facilitating the release of the first batch of 11 persons and expressed hope that others will soon be rescued. Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And meanwhile, the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, has insisted that 51 or more victims of the Kaduna-Abuja train attack who are still in captivity must be brought home alive. And the kidnappers had demanded for the release of their own children, and despite governments acceding to the demand, had let go only 11 of the victims. Even though more releases were expected, however, the president has approved that government will continue to do its best to apply its two-lane kinetic and non-kinetic approach to secure the passengers' safe release. And a statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Godbe Shehu, said that defense, security and intelligence agencies have given assurances that these victims will be released to their family. And President Muhammadu Buhari welcomed the return of the recently released passengers to express his solemn commitment to the families of those still in captivity and others in captivity that will be reunited with their families as soon as possible. And let's get to Kaduna State, where activities of the Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, has stirred a bit of reaction. And they're saying that the termination of over 2,000 teachers was done to improve the quality of education in the state. The SUBEB chairman, Tijani Abdullahi, told journalists that apart from those who failed tests, other teachers, including the president, the then chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Kaduna State, and now president of the NUT, were relieved of the appointment. Abdullahi says that the exercise was to ensure only competent teachers teach in school.
Government is concerned not about sacking people, but about improving the teacher quality. So those who scored below 40% and those who refused to sit for the test, they were all been, their appointments have been terminated because the test we said was compulsory. And those who were encouraging teachers not to sit for the exam, the union, you'll be surprised, many of them sat for the test.
There was a pending suit number NICN/KD/54/2021 dated 30th November 2021, which the NUT claimed against the State Universal Basic Education Board as one of the defendants, seeking for an order of interlocutory injunction to restrain SUBEB from conducting competency tests, which is now the subject matter of the query and dismissal letters issued to some teachers in the public primary school.
And you're watching Week in Review on Trust Television. We'll go for a break, but more stories after this short timeout. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're watching Week in Review on Trust Television, where we take a look at some of the events, some big events that occurred in the past few days. But moving on to more stories, the House of Representatives has hailed the Supreme Court judgment which struck out the suit by President Muhammadu Buhari seeking to void the provision of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act 2022. You agree with me that it has sparked a lot of reaction since this also started. So the spokesperson of the House, Benjamin Kalu, gave the commendation while speaking with journalists during the week. And the court on June 24 said that the president lacked the power to direct the National Assembly to amend or enact an act, adding that it violated the principle of separation of power. And according to the judgment, there's still no part of the Constitution that makes the exercise of legislative power subject to the directive of the president. He said that the mandate of the House was lawmaking with the intention of breaching a gap created in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that was not captured, adding that the House of Representatives could only do this by looking at Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act. He also added that the competitive element was necessary to advance the country's democracy. And since the voluntary resignation of some ministers, there have been a void in some of the ministerial positions in the country. Now, in the course of the week, President Muhammadu Buhari forwarded the names of 7 ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Buhari's letter was read on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday by the President, Ahmed Lawan, that is the President of the Senate. And this is what transpired.
Following the resignation of some cabinet ministers ahead of the 2023 general election, President Muhammadu Buhari this Tuesday forwarded names of nominees to fill the vacuum. The nominees are to replace ministers in his cabinet who had resigned to contest the presidential primaries of the All Progressive Congress as well as other offices.
I have the honor to forward the underlisted ministerial nominees for confirmation by the Senate. 1. Henry Ikechukwu Iko, Abia State. 2. Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State. 3. Ekuma Nkama Joseph Nkama, Ebonyi State. 4. Goodluck Nana Opia, Imo State. 5. Umar Ibrahim Eliakub, Kano State. 6. Ademola Adewole Adegorie, Ondo State. And 7. Odum Udi, River State. Copies of their curriculum vitae are attached herewith. It is my hope that this exercise will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the distinguished members of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
Others are Uche Oga, who contested and won the fractional Abia State governorship primaries, and Tayo Alasho-Adura, who contested and lost the APC senatorial primaries. Some of the cabinet ministers who resigned for the purpose of contesting the presidential primaries include Godswill Akpabio, Rotimi Amechi, Ogbonnaya Onu, and Chukwuemeka Nwajuba.
And to some political matters that occurred during the week, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, is not admitting that names of some persons have been smuggled into the party's list of candidates submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The APC national chairman was not forthcoming with answers when he led a delegation to present the governor-elect of Ekiti State, Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, to President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House, Abuja. Kehinde Amodu takes a look at the development.
President Buhari keenly followed Saturday's polls in Ekiti State and is delighted with the orderly conduct of the elections. He's also impressed with how the electorate and security agencies comported themselves. This is the first electoral victory of the party under the leadership of Senator Abdullahi Adamu. He is pledging that the victory will be replicated in Osun State next month. On the other hand, the governor-elect believes that the elections demonstrated that the APC is still the party of choice. The clear victory, he stressed, is a positive signal to the elections in Osun State and the national polls next year.
The last time I was here, I said that if performance will be an indicator for electoral success, that we have nothing to fear. So as far as we are concerned in APC, we did not involve in vote buying, but we've done so well, and we have a manifesto that pleases our people.
Beyond the celebrations, however, are allegations of the name of Senate President Ahmad Lawan appearing on the list of APC candidates sent to INEC, despite not participating in party primaries. It is a query the national chairman is not positively inclined to.
Everything we've done so far, we've done very carefully with legal consultation, and we're cocksure. We are not going to have the kind of speculation that you are, professing at this point in time. We are very comfortable with what we've done. You see, it's still pessimism.
Senator Adamu's elusive response to questions about names being smuggled into the candidates list of the APC may mean something is amiss, but all will be revealed in the weeks to come. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
And now we go to Lagos, where leaders of Fulani communities in southwest Nigeria have urged members of its communities throughout the region who are 18 years and above to make sure they obtain their PVC or revalidate it before the elections. And Sarkin Fulani of Lagos and Chairman Council of Fulani Chiefs in Southwest, Alhaji Muhammad Bambado III, disclosed these on Sunday while interacting with the leaders of Fulani communities from 5 southwest states and Kwara State in his palace in Lagos State, Nigeria. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi now reports.
The Sarkin Fulani of Lagos, Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar Bambado, said the Fulani communities in Southwest, as members of the larger Nigerian society, commiserate with the government and the people of Ondo State over the gruesome murder of worshippers at Francis Catholic Church at Owo and other parts of the country in which innocent citizens are killed on daily basis.
As members of the larger Nigerian society, we commiserate with the government and people of Ondo State over the gruesome murder of people at Francis Catholic Church at Owo on Sunday, the 15th of June 2022, and other parts of the country in which innocent citizens are killed on daily basis.
Bambado added that the only way to record the much desired progress, prosperity and development on all fronts is to eschew bitterness and embrace peace.
Is to ensure bitterness and embrace peace. We all have a role to play to achieve this within the capacity, wherever we may domicile in the country.
Alhaji Muhammadu Bambado disclosed that the Fulani communities in the Southwest will perform their civic duty by participating in the 2023 electoral process to ensure that the right leaders emerge.
We must all make it a point of duty to perform our civic duty by participating in the electoral process. We should take this message to our different homes on the need for eligible voters in our communities to get their permanent voters card, PVC. As you are all aware, the PVC is the only ticket that empowers us as eligible voters recognized to vote at the polls.
Some of the leaders told Trust TV that most of their members have no PVC due to lack accessibility and technical know-how, as many were left behind as they don't know how to register their PVC online. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV. Lagos.
As Nigerians continue to obtain their PVC in preparation for the 2023 election, the Independent National Electoral Commission in the Federal Capital Territory is partnering with the European Union support to democratic governance in Nigeria and a civil society group to mobilize youth across the nation's capital to participate in the ongoing nationwide continuous voter registration exercise. The Youth Vote Count Awareness Campaign 2.0 began on Monday during the week and is already drawing a lot of numbers of youths to register and get their permanent voters card. Trust TV's Aisha Saliu was there and now reports.
Youth Vote Count, a non-partisan initiative launched by the European Union with the aim of getting young people to participate more in the electoral process, is not only encouraging youth to register for their permanent voters cards, but also to ensure they collect the cards when they are ready and head to the polls to vote come 2023.
The entire objective, or the objective of the campaign, is just to connect young people with centers of power, to get them to be a little bit more proactive in the governance process and to begin to shift culture and perception of young people.
Resident Electoral Commissioner for the FCT, Yahaya Bello, said the Commission welcomes the initiative and is prepared to ensure that all eligible voters who make it to the week-long Youth Vote Count campaign mega music concert are registered.
INEC has come up to support this initiative by deploying more than 50 IBAN machines here in this venue already. INEC has also deployed more than 150 staff to ensure that the program goes smoothly.
Other partners championing the initiative say the mega music concert is part of efforts to address voter apathy among the youth in Nigeria, beginning with the registration and collection of permanent voters' cards.
The youth population on the voters register was about 51.1% in 2019. But as you can see from the images, from the videos across the country, there is interest on the part of young people to register and to vote in the next election.
Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And of course, the subsequent visit to the Old Parade Ground in the Federal Capital Territory saw that lots of young Nigerians came out en masse to register and prepare for the 2023 elections. And with this, we've come to the end of Week in Review for this week. Remember that you can join us or get more information from our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Remember to join us next week, same time, same station. Thank you for watching.